Hey there guys, it's Harry here from Phasio, and in this video I'm going to be introducing you to the new updates that we've released over the last 3 weeks of work. So to begin with, you probably can see it right in front of you. We've changed up the home screen and we've added this new feed function. The great thing about this is that this feed links to a community, as you can see down the bottom. So we're going to use this firstly to keep you up to date with everything that's happening on Phasio. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you're probably watching it inside of the feed right now. We also, this is actually an entirely separate community that we're using, where you can actually introduce yourself and meet other people who are also using Phasio. We've got chat rooms that are split out by region. We'll be introducing more in the near future. If you'd like to be added into any of these chat rooms so you guys can collaborate with each other or share any of your learnings, then just let me know and I can add you into any of them. We're very much looking forward to using this as a platform, not only for feedback on the Phasio platform, but also for enabling you guys to be able to connect with each other and potentially find ways of working together. So that's the first thing. Second thing is we've actually introduced a long-awaited feature, which is that of taxing by state. So let's go into the settings menu, and you can see here we have this new taxes section. So previously in Phasio, you had a flat VAT rate that was added to any order, and that VAT rate would always apply no matter where the customer was. What we've introduced here is this concept of taxes and jurisdictions. So taxes are things like Canadian provincial sales tax or harmonized sales tax, or it could, for example, be Arizona state tax or New York state sales tax. In general, you can add whichever taxes that you want to have in here, and then you can tie them to a jurisdiction. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to add Nova Scotia here, right? Now, I know Nova Scotia is under harmonized sales tax. I don't know if this rate is correct. I'd have to double check it, but let's just say it is, right? So we have harmonized sales tax in here. We go to the jurisdiction, we hit add jurisdiction. From the dropdown, we're going to select Canada as the country, and the jurisdiction will be Nova Scotia. In this jurisdiction, we will only apply harmonized sales tax, and we are going to allow people who are tax exempt to receive their exemption. We're also going to apply this tax onto the shipping cost as well. Okay, and as you can see now, we've got Nova Scotia added in here. The function of this is that when a customer orders on your storefront, or when you send an order to a customer, the system is going to look at the delivery address for the order and is going to infer the tax rate based off of that. If the system is unable to infer the jurisdiction, for example, if it's a self-collection order, or if you haven't created a tax structure for that jurisdiction, then the default jurisdiction will apply, which in this case means the customer will be charged this just generic tax field, which has been added, and HST. Of course, if we wanted to change this, we could. It's completely customizable, right? So this can be changed whenever it needs to be changed to suit your business. So this should add a lot of flexibility to you being able to reflect your true tax status inside of the platform. The next thing we've done is we've extended the equation editor. So of course, when it comes to pricing parts, that's always one of the bigger challenges that people face. So if I go into the technology here, which is priced by equation, you can see that we've now got a more sophisticated equation editor with all of the variables listed on the right. We have sub-functions, which you can reference inside of the equation. In this case, let's go ahead and edit it, right? So we have this function volume tier, right? So let's change this to say it's going to be whatever the input parameter is times by 5, right? And this can be referenced inside of the main equation here. So for example, we have syntax highlighting, which is going to show us that the volume tier equation is available here, and it's going to allow us to provide some input variables. We can, of course, do this with more complex variables as well, like convex hull volume, whatever you need. This system is going to help you ensure that you're able to iteratively improve your own equations over time. We're, of course, always here to help you with that, but we wanted to give you guys the flexibility to be able to tune and tweak these equations on an as-needed basis. So I hope this is useful for you in sort of going on that journey of building a pricing equation, which is really perfect for your business. So we'll go ahead and save that. The next thing I wanted to share with you is that we've introduced what we call a project-first methodology for Phasio. In the past, what happened was whenever a customer ordered from you, there would be a quote created, which you would then convert into an order. What we've now done is that process is still the same, but that quote is actually wrapped inside of a project, right? So let's take a look at how this appears. This is an order or a quote that I created by going to this storefront 10 minutes ago. Now, this quote looks exactly the same as before, except it's now inside of a project, right? And this project is just named the name of the customer's organization and their project ID. So let's open that up. Now, the advantage of this, right? So you can see we're inside of this project now. So when a customer came in and ordered, it not only created a quote, it also created a project. The reason we've done this is that sometimes customers come in with more complex needs or ongoing needs, right? And there may be an example where you need to do a prototyping order for a customer, but you later need to add a second order. For instance, you want to upsell them onto a short batch or a long batch run, right? Projects gives you the flexibility to do that. So at the moment, because this project was only just created, there's only a single quote inside of it. But if I wanted to, I could introduce a new quote into here, and we could actually we could have multiple quotes inside of the project design space. So let me go ahead and I'll add a new part, and we'll add a quote into this project. So I've just got to go ahead and set some parameters for it. And we should get our price, and I'll send this off to the customer. And as you can see, we now have 2 quotes inside of this project. So for ongoing relationships with customers, this can be really valuable. You, of course, have the standard projects features that we had before, like the order management. You have a file exchange area where you can upload just, like PDFs and that sort of stuff. We have design capabilities, and we have, of course, the conversation thread that we've already had, and to-dos for tracking things that need to be done as part of the project. Speaking of some of the design stuff, let's go on into this quote here. And let's say, for example, that we've looked at this part. Oh, look at that. The part has wall thickness below the minimum threshold. Well, let's take a look and see where this wall thickness violation is occurring, right? Oh, I need to have a look at that here. Okay, so it looks like the wall thickness violation is happening around the edges. So let's say we wanted to, tell the customer about this, right? You have this little button here, which is send file to design collaboration. So let's hit that button. Now, we know that there's this problem around these fan blade, the edge of the fan blade. So let's just drop a comment here. Hey, the wall is a bit thin here. Can we make it thicker? And what's going to happen is the customer is going to get a notification inside of their activity thread, and they're going to be able to see it, and they're going to be able to respond to you on their 3D model as well. So you can see the idea of putting projects first is to enable you to really, ensure that the requirements of the part are right, so that you can have that smooth communication back and forth with the customer before the quote turns into an order. We want to really spec out the requirements before the quote turns into an order. As much as possible, we want to streamline that into a single screen like this. And for ongoing projects where you have like larger batches that are coming through, this is quite helpful because the activity thread across all of those orders and projects is going to stay the same. It's going to stay inside of this screen, so it persists across orders. Okay, well, I hope this has been a useful introduction for you guys. Of course, we're very, very eager for feedback about all of this. There's a lot that we still have in mind on features that we want to build and improve, as well as the capabilities that we've just released. So I would really appreciate it if you guys gave me a call or an email or a message just to reach out and give me your thoughts on these changes. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy them, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they're used. All the best.